Ding dong, the witch is dead. Sorry, I'm just joking. Obviously, this is a very sad and difficult time for our family. It's very sad. Very, 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 very sad. Anyways, you may be wondering why I am the one that's giving this eulogy. I know I'm just a niece. But this was such a loss of epic proportions that our whole family was left in just basically despair and total loss for words. And luckily or unluckily, I work in law, so I have a lot of words. So I'm here to basically take one for the team. So let's get into it, right? Okay, so, dearly beloved, we are gathered here today for celebration of life. This is a celebration, okay? We're here to celebrate the life of our dearest Camilla. And yes, we are here gathered in Zoom, but we are here gathered nonetheless. So, anyways, and as always, because I know some of you guys are not very familiar with, electronics and how Zoom meetings work, make sure camera's on, mic's off, even though I'm pretty sure that won't be much of an issue because I was the one that was left to do the talking here. So I'm sure that won't be too much of an issue, but, just put it out there. So yes, so back to the woman of the hour, Camilla. What can I say? She was an amazing big sister, mother, activist, always fighting for workers' rights and equality for her community. She was always standing up for the underdog. Honestly, she was a hero. And she was truly an amazing, loving human being. And she's an inspiration to all that knew her. And even more so to those that didn't. I know that the city of Minas Gerais and even the country of Brazil will miss her deeply. She had an infectious smile and energy that just would light up every room and that seemed to linger even after she left. You just couldn't seem to forget about her. She was truly someone that was unforgettable. Infectious, unforgettable. That's truly the best ways that I can think of to describe her. And every time she would enter a room, it felt much brighter and lighter when she entered. And she truly had the ability to have you leaving the room feeling so inspired and on fire and just ready to conquer the world. What can I say? And she truly left the world a better place than when she entered it. It's hard to know where to start when talking about Camilla. There's just so much to talk about, so much to love, so much to witness. A lot to unpack. Especially, I'm sure, for her with all the lavish trips that she would take on. And it's difficult for many of us to even find the words, especially for those of us that were made to sign an NDA. But I'm in Canada, so luckily for me, I can speak freely, and here I am to do so. I know her loyal husband of 36 plus years has never strayed from her, and I don't blame him. She's definitely a catch. I know there were many throughout the years that tried to catch her, but they were unsuccessful. But he must have just had what it took just to capture her. And they were such a strong couple that seemed unbreakable, unshakable, and just truly madly in love. And he just could not seem to get away from her. And I, as her niece, I looked up to her and admired Camila so much. Sometimes my mom would even say that I reminded her of her dear sister. And she would say that with so much passion in her that I couldn't help but take it as a compliment. Camila, even then, was a boss bitch. And then as time went on, she evolved to become someone that went from not just ruling the family, but also ruling, or helping anyway, to rule the country. And she did so with an iron thumb. Firm, but fair. I truly saw her as inspiring. She was making a difference in the world and definitely changing people's lives. And I know she definitely changed our family's lives. And she definitely had such an impact, whether it was the fact that you were close to her or you were just, a Brazilian citizen. I'm sure she would, whether you knew it or not, she found a way to impact everyone. And especially since she was working in federal politics, and just the fact that she was a good mother, sister, and human being, she definitely left her mark. She even inspired me to take a course in political science in university, as well as marketing and criminology, so I could try to get into her head. I really wanted to pick at it. What could I do to just kind of try to get on her level, and so that I could just, just learn more and be more like her. Like, there was so much to learn from her, and I did everything in my power so that I could try to, elevate myself and get on that level. But truth be told, the biggest reason I ever went into law was because my vava told me to, so that I could be more like my aunt. My vava took care of me while I was a baby, and I can remember it over and over. She used to always say, be smart, use your brain, do law, become a lawyer. That's the only way that you can help your family better themselves. And she just tell me that all the time, like, be like your aunt, be smart, do law. Because our families, or at least that side of the family, didn't come from much. And she was such an inspiration to use your brain to be able to overcome any kind of adversity. And so I did that. And so I did that. I mean, I didn't become a lawyer, but I have my own law firm. But so a win is a win, right? Okay. So, and I knew that in order to become even a little bit like her, I'd have to be cunning, I'd have to be logical, wise, just to be able to, even try to become a little bit like someone of her magnitude. It would take a lot of work, and work I did. And my aunt was the type of person that was always 2 steps ahead, and I knew that I needed to catch up. And sometimes with shoelaces untied, I still found a way to catch up. And of course, I am no federal politician, but I am here today to say that I am still to follow in my aunt's footsteps. And has always been and will continue to be an inspiration to me and to many, especially women being in the political field and the oppression that women in politics face. And she has always been such a strong advocate for the adversity that women in politics face. And for that, I am so grateful, and I'm sure the women of Brazil are also so grateful. My aunt was a truly generous, selfless person. She was very successful. Very successful. And she loved to lavish her loved ones with extraordinary gifts and trips. She was very willing to share all the blessings that she was given. She was just always putting everyone before herself. And she even gave my mother, her sister, one time, a beautiful car. One of the most beautiful cars that you can imagine, a Rolls Royce car. Can you believe it? She was just incredible that way. And although it was difficult trying to get that car into Canada, or actually proved to be impossible, I knew that it was her way of trying to inspire my mom to, go back to Brazil. Like, I knew that she probably missed my mom when she moved to Canada, and she probably wanted her to go back more often. And she thought, what better to inspire her than a Rolls Royce, So she was always like that. But what can I say? To know my aunt is to love her. She's truly an unforgettable individual, and she left a mark on anyone that she encountered. Most certainly her family. She definitely left a big mark on all of us. And she was someone who knew her life. She left a... How do I say this? She left a mark on all of us. A mark that can never be repaired. There will always be that lasting mark that she left. She is someone that we will never be able to forget. And that's probably one of her biggest blessings, is her ability to affect people, to leave a change on people. She was very, very talented or adept at that. And that's why so many of us are gathered here today. It's because of lasting, deep marks that she left on all of us. And sadly, my mom did have to begin going back to Brazil more often when her mother, or their mother, got sick with cancer. Both sisters were right by their mother's side every day, doting on her hand and foot, caring for her every need. They treated her like a queen. They stayed right by her every moment of every day, right up until her last moments. And my aunt was such an amazing big sister to my mom at that time, as well as to all her other siblings. She made sure that her siblings were able to stay strong for their mother and for each other. She was truly a rock for everyone. Now I'm sure we are all feeling lost without her, because she just was that foundation, that strength, that just navigated and dictated everything. She was able to just keep everything running smoothly. She was always that one that had everything under control. So now there's definitely a big empty space left without her. Days seem longer and the future seems uncertain, but one thing remains: the knowledge that you should never ever give up hope, that there is always a light at the end of the tunnel, and that freedom is always close. It was certainly a difficult loss when my mom and all of the siblings lost their mother to cancer. Their mother was the light that held them together as a family, and of course that left very big shoes to fill. After that loss, my aunt had no choice but to become the matriarch of the family. And so she did. So she went on to handle everything after my grandma's death. You name it, she would handle it. The unwinding and the selling of assets and homes, and the managing of funds and paying of people, and just dealing with lawyers and wills and everything. She dealt with it all, and she really just took that weight off of her siblings' shoulders, and she just really was, it was admirable. And I know that I myself, as also a big sister, that is something that a big sister does, is you just take the weight off the shoulders of your younger siblings, and you just handle everything, and you make sure everything is taken care of, because that's what you do as the eldest daughter. What else can you do? It would just be wrong to allow your younger siblings to struggle or have to deal with anything. Like, they already have so much on their plate. So even though she already also had that, she was kind enough to make sure that everything was always dealt with. They never had to lift a finger. Not a finger. So I know for sure that my Aunt Camilla and my mom were very, very super close. And I know that this will impact my mother specifically in a very strong way. My mom always had nothing but amazing things to say about her, and she loved her very, very, very much. And there's nothing like the bond of a sister. I know that I never had a sister, but I always wish that I did. I had brothers, but there's nothing like a sister, or at least I think so, or would hope so. And I know that Camilla, my aunt, did everything in her power to protect my mom, and that she would never, and had never, allowed anyone to hurt her. Ever. And even when my mom moved to Canada, she would check in on her periodically and make sure she was okay financially. If she ever struggled with anything, my aunt was right there to help her, always. Always. She was truly an amazing aunt to my mother, and amazing sister to my mother, and an amazing aunt to me. Always thought about us and my brothers as well. It was incredible. And you would also never know that my aunt was so powerful. You know, she worked in federal politics, but she was so down to earth, so humble, so generous, so maternal, so nurturing. You would have never known that she was able to do all of these things and run everything so smoothly. Our family, her home, the state, the country. I don't know how she did it all. And she also was someone never to care about materialistic things, only about the well-being of those closest to her that she loved. And you would have also never imagined that she worked with like such infamous politicians in Brazil, such as like Bolsonaro, or like, isn't that crazy? Like, to know that I'm related to someone that influential is insane. And I know it definitely like had our family feeling like, oh, wow, like look, like that was truly an honor for our family to be related to someone involved with that kind of politics and people. It's made us feel very safe, very guarded, very taken care of, and we were very blessed in that manner. We never had to worry or stress for anything. It's just incredible the way that she was able to move ahead in life and use her power and use her money and use everything that she had always to help other people, especially with her women's group that she was in. Always thinking about women and her family and everyone else. It was truly incredible. My Aunt Camilla just really wanted people to be happy around her. She would just give and give and give and give and give until she would have nothing left to give. It would be empty. And of course, as they say, you can't give from an empty well. So she would always be bending herself backwards to help everyone around her and her community, and always involved in different, charities, making different events, making all these different companies and everything. She was so busy. She just put all of her energy, all of her attention into all of these community building things constantly. She just kept going, and to a point where it's just like, how do you find the time to do all of this? But she was just that bitch. She did it. She did it to the best of her ability, and it was inspiring, truly inspiring. And I think to me, one of the most inspirational things that she did that I'm so grateful for is that when my parents moved to Canada and they had a home in Brazil, they asked her to like take care of it, and she was able to sell the home, to like flip it and make like more money. And then she kind of continued on like selling and flipping on their behalf, and she put the money into almost like a, I don't know, I'm not sure the details, but like an account that makes like a lot of, residual or a lot of interest on their behalf. And I feel like she did that because she probably in somehow knew that like eyes to Canadian dollars is like not worth much. So she knew that like to flip it, to like put in this like, because she had connections with the government, put it into this like very high interest earning account to help them. And I know that when they receive those funds, that it's going to be an insane amount of money, that much more than they probably spent on the home. And she was always very smart like that, to do those kinds of things. So she was very good with money. She managed a lot of money. So I'm actually very thankful that she did that, because let's be honest, like we never really went back to Brazil anyways, and all our family's there. So why did they really even need this empty home anyway? So I truly think that was so cultured of her and so wise. No notes, just compliments on that. And I'm just grateful for that. She's just a very, very intelligent business woman all around. And, my parents didn't have that kind of business acumen as she did, so I'm grateful that she was able to help them in that regard. So, actually, my aunt and I do have a lot in common. We both are fierce, tough spirits. When someone hurts someone we love, we don't take it lying down, we defend them. We fight fearlessly to protect those that we love. And we both strongly believe in what's right is right, and also like stopping abusers, and just being a person that stands up for what is right, always. And we are both women that have been into many fights, both on the street and in the boardroom. And I don't think that you would ever want to be getting into a fight with either one of us. Not sure that you'd be able to make it out alive. Just joking. But in short, or in long, the world's a little bit different without her. Hard to navigate and know how to manage things, like bank accounts, estates, assets of their late mother, who she would always manage. There's just so much that we will, as a family, have to learn how to deal with. Camilla used to manage all of that, and there's definitely a big hole now in her absence. Our family cannot replace her, and I know Brazil can't either. However, good news in all of this tragedy. My mother will be replacing her in any and all of her political roles, and who better than her sister, who learned it all from her. Of course, she'll also have me with her too, to help her. Her paralegal daughter, who took a semester of political science, which, funnily enough, was a lot more education than my aunt ever took on the issue, but she was a natural. But I'm sure with the education and my mom by my side, we'll be able to figure it out. And while my aunt was an incredible, amazing matriarch of the family, I stand firm in the belief that my mom will be able to take over for her, and she'll have no problem in filling in those shoes, however big they may be. I will, as always, stand right beside her, as we all will, as we navigate this together as a family and as a country. So, in memory of Camila, my aunt, let's focus on the amazing memories we shared with her, not the negative. There aren't many, so it should be okay to do so. And remember, this is a celebration, not a mourning. We will all be here to support each other and above all, navigate this new normal. She would never want us to sit here and shed tears for her or be upset. All she had ever wanted from anyone was to be happy, to enjoy life. And I know with all my heart that that's what she would want from us right now, is for us to focus on the amazing moments that we have had shared with her and the amazing moments that are to come. My aunt would have, that's what she would have wanted. And so I say, farewell, sweet Camilla. Parting is such a sweet sorrow. May you be treated in your next life as swimmingly as you treated people in this one. Truly a fallen angel. I look forward to meeting you again in the next life, and I will always look for you. And I will always find you in every lifetime. So, till we meet again, my darling Camilla.